Fantasy basketball playoffs right around the corner. What's going on? It's Nameco and Barkley. Yeah, that's actually his last name, with Fantasy Smack Talk. But before we get into all the tips, they're going to help you win your championship. We're going to talk a little bit of March Madness because it's right around the corner. Yeah. Run your polls on our site this year. You can get with a bunch of friends, join a private group, or if you just want to do a bracket for yourself, there's chances to win $1 million, $10,000, or good stuff. We're giving away money. Dustin, go ahead. Let's get into some tips first.
Giving it away. All right. Now, I know you don't normally have to pay close attention to the actual standings in the real NBA, but this time of year you do. Teams that are way ahead in the race and not really playing for much, they might start benching their superstars to get ready for the playoffs, teams like the Spurs and Lakers. But then teams like the Raptors, Cleveland, guys that probably aren't going to make the playoffs, you might see some of the youngsters getting a run and just seeing what these kids got. So if you pay close attention, you might be able to find a young guy that's going to get a nice run over the last couple of weeks and give you a boost in your fantasy playoffs.
Something else to keep in mind, if you do have a veteran on your team that seems to have been banged up and his team's out of it, they've normally shut down those veterans this time of year, so keep an eye on that as well.
All right, let's take a look at guys who we think are pretty much ads in all leagues, all formats. First guy we're going to talk about is Ramon Sessions, only owning about 65% of leagues. Baron Davis is out there now, but he's out for personal reasons right now. They're saying he might miss another 10 days.
What the hell's going on?
His grandmother died, so give him a break.
Okay,
but I just really don't see Baron Davis taking too many minutes away from Sessions. I think he's a safe bet to play at least 25-plus minutes from here on out.
All right, the next guy we're going to talk about is my second half sixth man of the year, in Gortat out there with the Suns. He's not starting, but he's still playing almost 35 minutes a game. He's been playing great, 16 points, close to 8 boards. If you need center help, he's the guy to get.
Next, we got Gerald Henderson, only owned about 15% of leagues, which was kind of shocking. He's been pretty big ever since Wallace got shipped out of town, and his starting job looks very safe as of now. Look for him to mature through the rest of the year and his numbers to go up. Doesn't make threes for you, really, but he can put some points on the board.
All right, and the next guy we talked about in our last show, that's Hansbrough. And Dustin said, if he ever starts, look at his numbers. It's so great. Everyone probably mocked him. He's like, what's Hansbrough going to do? Well, he's starting the last couple games. 23 points, 8 boards.
Huge.
He's playing pretty damn good.
Let's move into guys that we think are definitely worth looking at in deeper leagues. First guy, Anthony Morrow. He's owned about 65% of leagues. When he's been healthy and playing well, he's put up good numbers. And we see him putting up good numbers moving forward if he can continue to stay healthy.
The next guy's Jared Jack. When he gets minutes, he's
ridiculous.
a great fantasy option. Chris Paul, his usual end of the year hurt kind of things going on right now. He's got that concussion. He's getting more tests on Friday. If he's out for an extended period of time, Jack is a great add in any league.
Next, we got Tracy McGrady, only owning about 30% of leagues. Who knows what's going on out in Detroit? It is a mess, but they're saying Stuckey could be coming off the bench for the rest of the year. McGrady started the last game, flirted with a triple-double. The guy is putting up numbers worth a look in our opinion.
Next guy, Chase Budinger of the Rockets, owned in 45% of leagues. Over the last couple games, he's averaging 16 points, making 1.5 threes a game while shooting 50%. Go white guy.
A redheaded white guy.
White-headed white guy.
All right, next guy, James Harden out in Oklahoma. Shooting guard, only owned about 65% of leagues. Ever since Jeff Green got shipped out of town, Harden's been picking up the slack with the scoring. Take a look at his game log. Pretty impressive from the scoring standpoint.
Next, we got Tyrese Thomas. This would have been great, but he had a little bit of a setback. So what we're saying is keep an eye on him. When he gets back into the rotation, he's worth a gamble, block, rebound kind of guy.
Might finally be playing consistent minutes. That guy's been all over the place this year. Next, we got Ed Davis out in Toronto, only owning 20% of leagues. Now, he's kind of one of those guys we were talking about that might get a little bit of boost going down towards the end of the season. Toronto's not playing for a lot. Reggie Evans is healthy now, but we don't see him taking too many minutes. Amir Johnson's banged up a little bit. Ed Davis might get a little run.
Next, we got Hakeem Warwick, only owned in 30% of leagues. With Channing Frye out, Warwick blew up in his first start. He ain't going to do that every night, but he's going to get the minutes, and Steve Nash is going to be throwing him alley-oops, so he should have some production.
And the last guy we're going to talk about is Jody Meeks out in Philly, only owning about 15% of leagues. He's been starting for a while now, but he's just recently starting to put up some decent numbers. We think he's kind of coming into his own a little bit. He could be a nice guy to pick up for the last few weeks of the season. So that's it for our bi-weekly basketball. Don't forget about NCAA. All of our baseball rankings are up just around the corner. Gotta love this time of year. I'm Dustin. This is Nameco. We'll see you in a couple weeks.